I'm sure you guys are all familiar with that YouTube rabbit hole, where you start out thinking, alright, I'm just gonna watch this one quick video and then I'm gonna go to bed. But then you see something that seems interesting in the recommended tab and think, shit, I mean, I know I said I was only gonna watch one video, but I could watch this one too. It's only like 5 minutes long and I'll go to bed after this one for sure. But after watching that second video, you don't go to bed. Instead, you see another cool looking video in the recommended tab, click on that, and repeat the process until all of a sudden it's 3 AM and you're watching the weirdest shit.
Happy birthday!
Have you ever celebrated the first birthday of a watermelon? I know I haven't.
Now the other day, I myself fell victim to the YouTube rabbit hole, and I came across this video. Don't ask me how I found this video because I have no idea. I really like it though because these dudes are getting lit and having a good ass time, just showing off some positive vibes. And one thing that's really striking to me about this video is how happy these people are despite how little they have. These people obviously live in a very underdeveloped part of the world. They live in dirt huts that don't have running water and most of them aren't even fully clothed. But they're still having a good ass time and enjoying life. Now compare these people to some of the millionaires and billionaires here in America who suffer from depression. These are people who at the snap of their fingers can get anything they want. They drive around in fancy sports cars, live in mansions, and will never go to bed with their stomachs empty. But somehow, they still aren't happy. When comparing these African villagers with the richest people in America, it kinda makes no sense. Like, how can people who are so poor they don't even have running water be so happy, while there are people who live in mansions who are depressed? The reason why is because the African villagers are satisfied with much less than what the richest people in America are satisfied with. The African villagers don't have much, but they also don't feel the need to have anything more than what they already do have. This is very different from the richest Americans who already have a lot, but still want more, and more. You would think that a millionaire would be satisfied with how much money they have. Like $1 million, that should be good enough. But because we live in such a competitive society, being a millionaire isn't good enough if there are other people out there who are billionaires. The goal isn't just to be rich, it's to be the richest of the rich. And this competitive sentiment is ingrained in American culture. We all want to be better than everyone else in everything we do. But some people become so obsessed with being the best that they can't enjoy anything. The unsatisfied millionaire may live in a mansion, but he will never enjoy living there because the entire time he'll be obsessed with getting enough money to buy a bigger mansion. The most ambitious people are typically also the least satisfied because think about it. No matter how good your current situation is, if you're constantly striving to improve it, it's because you aren't satisfied with it. There's a great scene about this in The Virtues of War by Stephen Pressfield, which is a historical fiction book about Alexander the Great. In the scene, Alexander is leading his army across a river. Then, all of a sudden, a philosopher comes out and blocks the path. And Alexander says, "Who are you to be blocking my path right now? Do you know who I am? I'm Alexander the Great. I've conquered the world. What have you ever done?" And the philosopher just looked back at him and said, "I have conquered the need to conquer the world." People who are obsessed with being the best often think that once they are the best, they will be satisfied. But this rarely turns out to be true. There are stories of when Alexander's army made it all the way to India and all of his men wanted to go back home to Greece. But Alexander didn't want to go back. Instead, he wanted to keep marching forward. So even though he had conquered all of the known world, this still wasn't good enough for him, and he still wasn't satisfied. Meanwhile, this random philosopher who accomplished jack shit in his life compared to Alexander was somehow much more satisfied than him. And it was all because he had conquered the need to conquer the world. Conquering the need to conquer the world is something that we should all do in our own lives, because doing so will prevent us from becoming so ambitious that it's impossible for us to ever be satisfied. I'm not saying that you should throw all your ambition out the window and not strive to be great. You should always strive to be great. But don't let being the greatest be your primary motivation in life. For example, I would love to one day have 1 million subscribers. That gold plaque would look fresh as fuck in my room. So picturing myself getting that gold plaque is definitely something that motivates me to make these videos. But I also understand that having 1 million subscribers won't magically make me any happier, and 100 years from now when I'm a corpse in the ground, the amount of subscribers I had won't fucking matter. So really, why should I care about my subscriber count? The only thing that should motivate me to make these videos is the fact that I enjoy making them. That it's a fun thing for me to do. If you're doing something only for the results, you're doing it for the wrong reason. You should do things not for the results, but because you enjoy the process of doing them. The point I'm trying to make here is that happiness cannot be gained from external sources like money, land you have conquered, or subscribers. Happiness is something that must come from within. If you aren't happy and satisfied with life before you reach your goals, then you won't be happy and satisfied after you reach them. This is why conquering the need to conquer the world is such a powerful thing to do. Because it reminds you that once you do conquer the world, you won't magically become a happier person. And while it is a good thing to be successful, it's a lot more important to be happy. Because what's the point of being super successful if you aren't happy about it? When you think about it like this, it makes you realize that the primary focus of your life should be happiness, not success. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to drop a like and subscribe to my channel. It helps me out a lot, so I would greatly appreciate it. But anyways, I hope you all have a great day, and peace.